Spokane man convicted of killing his girlfriend's young daughter back in 2003 is now trying to shave years off his prison sentence.
The state Supreme Court has ordered that a new jury reconsider the punishment Robert Doney received for murdering 2-year-old Victoria Raymond. KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey live at the courthouse. Jeff, is Doney getting a new trial?
Well, David, it's an abbreviated version. This jury already knows that Doney pleaded guilty to killing the 2-year-old, but for that he received almost double a normal sentence. And so now this jury has to decide whether or not that extra punishment was warranted. The day after Christmas 7 years ago, Robert Doney and his girlfriend were having a domestic dispute. The woman managed to flee their apartment but left her 2-year-old daughter behind.
Well, while she's outside, the defendant is in the apartment, which is on the second story, which faces Dean, and he's looking out the window, making a statement, "I'm going to kill your daughter, I'm going to kill your daughter."
Witnesses say they heard the child screaming and what sounded like a tornado in the apartment, and then silence as Doney walked out the front door.
As the defendant exits, he's looking at Miss Richards, who's not too far away from him, and he says, "She's not your little girl anymore."
An autopsy would show that Doney had fractured Victoria's skull by bashing her head against the apartment's interior. Doney got an exceptional sentence because jurors felt the crime was unusually cruel and Victoria especially vulnerable.
You're going to see and hear things that none of us want to see.
However, Doney's defense attorney says his client isn't the only person to blame for Victoria's injuries. Doney insists the child's mother took part in the abuse as well.
We're saying Mrs. Richards was involved in it, okay? We can expect to hear testimony that won't pinpoint injuries as far as timing, as far as who, and we believe that you'll see from the evidence that there's abuse in this house, and that the abuse is likely not coming from Mr. Doney.
The defense will also cast Joan Richards as a drug addict who refused to cooperate with investigators or even Spokane's medical examiner. It's all part of a plan to divert the jury's attention away from Doney in the hopes of diminishing his punishment. And that will be a tough sell for the defense, given that Doney has already admitted his guilt, but every time he appears in court to this point, he has had his sentence reduced, and prosecutors had no choice but to allow a new jury to hear this case again. We'll let you know when they begin their deliberations. Reporting live at the courthouse, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.